Yay, good morning, everybody. I'm so excited to be here. Welcome to the Progressive Educators Bootcamp. My name is Ability Validation, and I have the privilege of convening this transformative bootcamp. You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. I'm going to send a message to the group now that I'm live. We are live. I can see one person here has joined me. Let me know if you can hear me and see me clearly. If you can hear me and see me clearly, please let me know. My name is Abdulatif Adedeju, the Flip Classroom expert. I'm excited and super delighted to be here. Let me look at the person. Good morning, Miss Suka. Good morning. You're welcome. I'm glad you can hear me. You're welcome. You're welcome. Welcome. We are starting immediately. Okay, just trying to. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Yes, I'm so glad to. I'm so glad to. You're welcome. You are welcome. I can see Mrs. Kenny here. You're welcome. You're welcome. You are all welcome. This is the Progressive Educator Bootcamp, and I'm so excited to uh, have you all here. This is going to be a transformative session for us all. Yes, it's going to be a transformative session. I'm super excited and beyond delighted for the transformation that this is going to birth in the education industry. Yes. Yeah, I'm excited too. I'm excited, I'm excited. Our speaker will be coming up any moment from now. Okay, so what we do now is just this link that brought you here, copy the link and share it with every other person. Share it with every other person. Let them know that we are live. And please comment on the group that we are live. I can see Miss Felmy here. You're welcome. You're welcome. Good morning. I'm excited to be here too. Good morning. Let them know in the group that we are live. We are live. We are live. We are live now. The bootcamp we have been waiting for is now here and can't afford to miss it. I'm so glad that we are all here. You are all welcome. Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome. This is 8:58. We have just 2 minutes more and then we're going to get started. Once our speaker is here, we kick off immediately. Kick off immediately. Okay, so let's share the link. Let's share the link. Let's share the link. Let's share the link. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. It's very delighted to welcome everybody here. My name is Abdulatif. This is so good, and I'm super excited to be here. And our speaker is here. We're going to get it started immediately. This is going to be. uh, Thank you, Mr. Samuel is here already. Our first speaker is here, and I'm just going to we're going to kick off as soon as possible. We're going to start by reading his profile, and then we're going to start immediately. Okay, but then before then, make sure you share the link. Let other people know that we are live. Let other people know. that we are alive. Let them know that we are alive. Let them know that we are alive now. And our first speaker is coming up. And we are alive, and our first speaker is coming up. Is going to be speaking on demystifying AI in education. Demystifying AI in education. This is AI has come to stay, and then it is something that we don't have knowledge about, that we are afraid of, or that we ignore. But AI cannot be ignored. We have to work around it. We have to work with it. We have to know how it works. And then we have an expert here this morning that is going to be talking about, speaking to us on AI, what we need to know and how we can make use of it, practical strategies that we can make use of to start making use of AI in our classroom. All right, so quickly to get started, I'm just going to give us a brief uh, introduction of the bootcamp itself. So once again, my name is Abdulatif Abedeji, the Flex Classroom expert and the founder of the Progressive Educators Network. I'm so excited to welcome you all to the Progressive Educators Bootcamp. And the bootcamp is simply aimed at empowering educators with the necessary skills and competencies to empower them to become a better teacher, one, and to reignite their passion for teaching, and more importantly, for them to be well equipped to contribute to the advancement and transformation of education in Africa. So personally, I believe that the transformation of education that we need in Africa starts with empowerment of teachers. So I believe that when we have teachers that are empowered with skills, with necessary skills, knowledge, they have diverse ideas, then they are going to be more equipped to actually do any transformation or anything that they want to do in the education industry. And that is why this bootcamp is being organized. And another reason why this bootcamp is being organized is that I'm going to be celebrating my 25th birthday tomorrow, yes, April 16th. And whenever my birthday comes close, one of the things that always haunts me is that what can I do? Though this is not something I stop, I intentionally and continuously give back to the education industry. I organize a lot of things, trainings, for teachers. But then close to my birthday, there's always that urge and desire of what am I going to do? What am I going to do? What thing can I do that is going to empower teachers? And one of them is actually this bootcamp. And I'm super excited to welcome you all to the bootcamp once again. Our speaker is ready, and I'm just going to start by reading his profile. So please, let's get ready. Get a pen and paper. Get the link. Share it with your friends. This is where they are supposed to be. This is where they are supposed to be. Okay, they can't afford to miss this. Okay, so we are like, I say our speaker is ready for us. Okay, Mr. Samuel F.A., you're welcome, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Okay, yes, I can hear you. Good morning. Good
I
morning. Can
can't
you hear
hear
me?
you yet. Okay, are
Can
you
you hear
muted?
me? No, I'm not muted.
Let me check.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Hello, sir.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yep.
Okay, I can hear you now, sir. All right. So you're welcome. Thank you so much for accepting to be part of this. And I'm just going to start by reading your uh, profile now. All right, so are we ready? In fact, let's welcome our speaker first. Let's welcome our speaker. I want to see the fire emoji. Let's welcome our speaker. Let's welcome our speaker. Our first speaker is here. You keep your time here. So let's welcome our speaker. Okay, so meet our first speaker. So Mr. Samuel Efre has worked in the education industry for 17 years and still counting. He has rich experiences in raising startup schools, helping educators, teachers find fire in their profession, training teachers on effective ways to teach phonics, spellings, and reading, training teachers on effective tools for content development, creating educational content,
for both digital and physical. Training organization staffers on business communication ethics, developing individuals and elites on both oral or written communication, and educational artificial intelligence enthusiasts, and also consult for schools on managerial issues. Can you see profile? Samuel Efe is currently working in the capacity of the head of school at Angels Academy, Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. He understands the dynamics of managing a school. He's the lead facilitator in the capacity. So he's the lead facilitator at Tomphonics Academy. Tomphonics Academy is the organizer of the annual Ibom Spelling Bee, pioneer of Tomphonics Spelling Club for children ages 5 to 15, publisher of the spelling curriculum, amongst others, convener of the prestigious Akwa Ibom Education Awards, and also a consultancy firm. He will be speaking on demystifying AI in education, practical strategies for classroom integration. So thank you so much. Let's welcome our speakers. Let's do a virtual clap. Just send the fire emoji, send the clap emoji. Let's welcome our speaker. Thank you so much, Mr. Samuel. I don't take it for granted. It's really a great privilege for me. Thank you, sir. You
Thank
can take the floor, sir.
thank you very much. I just want to be sure that I can be heard.
Yes, I can hear you, but then let me. So please, if you can hear Mr. Samuel, please comment in the comment. Please drop a comment in the comment section that you can hear.
Okay, so good morning, Abdul Latif. Good morning to you and your team. Thank you for deeming it on fit to have me not just as a speaker but also the first speaker. Come on, you guys have to take me
Yeah.
out of my bed this morning.
Wow.
It's
That's
actually
really.
holiday, so I had woke up through the night and I slept by 4 a.m. So I was just like, God, I hope I don't miss this 9 a.m. But notwithstanding, okay, let me just go straight. I have just 30 minutes. My name is Samuel Tom Frey, and I'm the lead facilitator at the Tom Phonics Academy. So, like you read, we do quite a number of things, and we started with Phonics Academy, phonics instructions, and we've been doing that for the past years. And now we had to, diversify into artificial intelligence. So, whereby we artificial intelligence for educators. So, whereby we get to teach teachers, educators anywhere all around the world how to demystify artificial intelligence in education. Now, artificial intelligence is not new. This has been, on for years now, but I think it just late 2 years, recently, 2 years ago, then people started getting the buzz about artificial intelligence and, what have you, and oh, we can use it to, and many people online, the only thing they know about artificial intelligence is just how to crop their face and how to do big pictures, images, and all of that. But it's always a privilege, and to me, when I get to discuss with educators about the use of artificial intelligence in their classroom as well as to help them ease the stress of work. Now, being in the education industry for years and still in the education industry, I have I have been an assistant teacher, I've been a teacher, I've been a senior teacher, I've been a supervisor, an administrator, a deputy head teacher. So I've actually gone through all the department, or call it just call it. So when I get to tell my teachers or get the teachers around me, you don't tell me how you feel. I already know. I have been there. So I'm not coming from the standpoint of what I've read from a book. I'm coming from the standpoint of what I have felt and what I am still doing as a teacher. So forget the fact that I'm a trainer, forget the fact that I'm a speaker or a head of school. I am still a teacher because I still have quite a number of teachers, adults and children I still have to teach. So artificial intelligence just refers to this simulation of human intelligence, processes by machines, and that's all. So artificial intelligence, the opposite of artificial is natural, right? So let's just say we humans, we have a natural intelligence, and we also have an assistant which we call the artificial intelligence. So it's just the use of machines and all of that. So last night, a friend, a colleague of mine, a big boss, was talking about generative AI that in less than no time is going to take over the school industry. And all. I said it's already, in fact, it's becoming a thing of the past. Okay, that's one type of artificial intelligence, which is generative AI. So now, AI, in short, of artificial intelligence seems to create what we call system that can perform tasks um, that will require human intelligence. So, in short, it just makes your work faster, efficient, and effective. So, things that would have taken you 1 year, 2 years to do, with the help of artificial intelligence, it can take you less than 5 minutes to do. Yes, it sure can take you less than 5 minutes to do. So AI is not limited to images. You can use AI for visual perception, like images, like I just said. You can use it for speech recognition. You can use it for decision making and language translation. Okay, so you can use AI for so many things, so many things, so many things to perform tasks for you and all of that. Don't worry, I'm just giving you an overview of AI before I now look at practical strategies for classroom, how to use AI. Now, yes, there has been so many. I'm not when they asked me, am I giving slide? I know, I said no, I don't want to be caged into slide. Okay, let me tell you from experience. Okay, let me tell you from experience. Now, since last year, people say, oh, AI is coming to take over our jobs, AI is coming to take over our jobs and all of that. Of course, AI is not really taking over jobs. Okay, AI is actually reducing the number of lazy people in the system. Okay, AI doesn't make one lazy. In fact, with the use of artificial intelligence, it even makes you work harder. Yes, in as much as it actually makes your work efficient and faster, but um, it requires another level of intelligence. Trust me, it requires that because by the time you have actually told the machine what you want to do, with your intelligence and the intelligence of the machine, you need to that except you're a very lazy person that you just want to copy verbatim of everything AI gives to you. But AI really isn't going to take people's job, but instead, the people that actually know how to use the artificial intelligence will actually start chasing those people that don't even know how to use AI out of job. Yeah. So um yeah, there are different types of AI. So let's look at what a examples of AI applications in everyday life. So you can use AI for virtual assistants. Yeah, you can use AI for virtual assistants. So I was telling a story about my colleague last night on his Facebook profile, talking about generative AI and all of that. So I said, this thing has been on for long. Even Google and Microsoft have been two biggest, competitors. Have actually, used AI in all their platform. I started from Google for, excuse me, Google for Education started using AI long ago. For those people that actually know, that have been using Google for Education in their schools, would have seen some things in AI. Now, in Google, rather Google app. First thing I noticed was Google Draw. Yeah, Google Draw. Google Draw is actually an app in Google for Education apps, that allow early years children or students to draw. So you can just use your tablet to draw on Google Draw, and just draw anything. So you know how we used to shade and all of that. But with the use of AI in that Google Draw, because there's a part feature for AI, all you need to do is just you can draw the face of somebody. When you draw the face of somebody, then you tell the AI that, oh, AI will just come up with so many features, you understand, and tell you, were you trying to draw a face of this person? And if you just click on it, yes, it reshapes the drawing for you. Okay, it refines it. Now that's one feature of AI. In Microsoft, okay, we have the virtual assistant, yes, for Microsoft Team, that they have actually infused AI into it. And you can also have autonomous vehicles. AI can actually be help you for smartphones, devices, and all of that. But I'm not talking about all of that. Let me get straight to the classroom. So practical strategies for classroom integration. So please, Mr. Abdulatif, just you can just type and let me know that I'm communicating and I'm doing well. Okay, let me know that at least we are getting value, because at the point it will seem like as if I'm talking to myself. Okay, can you still hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I'm with you, sir. I'm with you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. So now, number one, you can enhance curriculum with AI. You can enhance curriculum with AI. So with the permission of the convener, now I have a YouTube page where I actually shared 5 tools about AI for education. So you can check it out on Educational Influencer. That's the YouTube page, Educational Influencer. It's supposed to be it's supposed to be I had a course. Yes, I had a course where I taught 12 tools on how teachers can enhance use AI. No, now the 12 tools are not just I'm not telling you go to ChatGPT. No, 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 no. ChatGPT wasn't hello, listen and listen good. ChatGPT was not meant for teachers, okay? Wasn't meant for teachers, it was meant for content creation and every other persons that want to use AI and all of that, just so listen and listen good. So in that 12 tools I gave, I talked about artificial intelligence tool directly for AI because for teachers rather. Now, because number one, I've talked about curriculum, right? What we do in a school as teachers or educators, they are routiner. They are routiner because this is it. A normal day of a teacher, he or she wakes up around maybe 5:30, 6 o'clock, gets to school 7 o'clock, right? 7 o'clock, then fills the time book. After filling the time book, the next thing is preparing the class, rub off the board and all of that, and devotion assembly in the morning, right? After devotion, the first lesson, either mathematics or English language, right? Then okay, after that, the next class, then we have short break, then maybe food break. If you do that in the school, then the next thing you have a long break, then you have what do we call it? Another lessons, activity, classwork, practical, and by 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. we are done, and some of you just go maybe do home lessons and all of that. It's routine. That's what you do every day, every day, every day. So the same thing you did yesterday is the same thing you'll go today. So what are the things teachers do? Lesson notes, interpreting curriculum, right? Um, comment writing, number three. Number four, thinking of activities to do, right? And thinking of activities to write, workbook and all of that. And number six, thinking of assessment. What else? Nothing different, okay? Nothing, you are not adding, you are not, the only thing you're just being creative in refining those things you do on a regular basis. It's just, but it's still routine now. So these AI tools, number one, I'm going to share two tools with us. Two tools with us. Now, on curriculum development, there's an AI tool called Magic School. Okay, I have my laptop here. So let me be sure of. Yeah. So we have www. If Mr. Abdulatif can help me, can type it on the screen. www.magicschool.ai. Okay, magicschool.ai. Now it's specifically done for educators. Okay, educators. Now the magic of AI to help educators with lesson planning. They help with okay, lesson planning. It has over 60 plus AI tools. Most of them are free, some are not free. If you want to upgrade, yes, if you want to upgrade. So it's, and I think the last year when I tried looking at it, you can, I think they're trying to implement it into LMS is learning management system, like Google for Classroom. So whereby they want to integrate it with all of that. Then if it has to do with grading, so AI can help you grade. Now remember, I said AI is not coming to take your job. It's only people that know how to use AI now, actually, because AI needs human to work on it. So AI doesn't just come to your class and say, I'm taking your job. Humans use AI. Okay, so you must be able to know how to use AI. So with magicschool.ai, you're not thinking about content generation, you're not thinking about Facebooking, you're not thinking about um, what other thing? No, no, no. With magicschool.ai, it's streamlined for lesson planning, grading, curriculum, grade assessment, flashcards, anything, worksheet. Yes, magicschool.ai helps you. Then the next one we have is called, okay, sorry, yeah. The next one I'm going to show us is called, I think, let me try teach both. Let's see if it will come up. Um, I have two. There are over 100 plus, okay, but I think I want to give you the free ones so that you can actually use them. Mm, so you can use them. So you can check this out, and I want to see what you think about it in the comment section. Okay, so I'm going to be reading in the comment section, and let's see how it goes. Okay, and in case you are thinking about what can I use AI for, you can use it for so many things. So even for mathematics, you can also use it for mathematics. Yes, I'm going to show you what you can use. One app. Yeah, let me no, let me not say two. Let me use one app. Okay. Okay. So the next one is where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Okay. We have education. Okay. Maths 2. Okay, you can have one we call math dot slash gpt match math rather maths then dash hyphen gpt.org, math hyphen gpt.org. And the next tool we have is you can go to what's this AI. And the last tool I'm going to be sharing with us today is teacherboat.ai. 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 Then I think I need to just drop one. Okay, this one is it free? No, this one is not free. Okay, yeah, it's free. You can have the free one now. Yeah, lessonplans.ai. Lessonplans.ai. There are quite a number of quite a number of them. But please, I think if you check my YouTube page, please, not that I'm redirect, but if you check there, I showed practical examples of how to use these AI tools. I think I mentioned for the YouTube page, I mentioned five. So if you can just pick two of them and just work on them, keep on working on them. There's an AI that can actually help you. I'm not talking about Google Lens. Google Lens is also okay. All you need to do is just go to your textbook or your notebook. Now, for those of you that want to do assessment, and you're thinking of typing, can you just allow AI give you, I'm not talking about ChatGPT now, with any of these tools that you're going to get from me, just type your assessment, the topic of the assessment, or if you had already written the lesson notes or the lesson plan, all you need to do is snap the picture. Oh yes, of course, use your phone, snap the picture of that book. Then it's going to remove, or it's going to convert your written note to text. And when you convert it to text and you now tell the AI to say, please, based on my note, generate 20 assessment questions based on my note, not based on AI, based on my own lesson note that it has extracted, it's going to help you with answers. So all you need to do is just proofread it. So AI has come to help you as a virtual assistant not to take over your job, but as an assistant teacher to help you with lesson planning, to help you with curriculum enhancement, to help you with grading, to also help you with feedback. Yes, if you check Magic School, you're going to see feedback at the two. To help you with feedback, and it also help you with, oh, this child actually scored over, below, so you can actually give comments, and it will help you with comments and how to use comment for all of this. um Okay, my YouTube is www.education youtube.com/educational influencer. Educational influencer. I think my time is up. So if you go there, you see now with AI, you can actually use AI in your classroom. AI will not come and sit in your classroom. Remember, it requires someone with intelligence to use AI because it's artificial intelligence. So you must be intelligent as a teacher. And please, lastly, let me use this. Okay, no, two things before I say lastly. Number one, AI has come to stay. Okay, so you can't fight it. You can't fight it. It has come to stay. So it's either you are in to know how to use AI or you're out. And number two, can we stop talking about how low and poor teachers are? With AI, you can do so many things. Aside from in the classroom, you can actually use AI to generate money for yourself. You can use AI to print worksheets, yeah, to make worksheets or activity books. You can use AI to generate flashcards. You can use AI to do a whole lot of things. Okay, so I think yes, I've been having a one-to-one class with so many persons since January this year. As you can see, as I said, I slept by 4 a.m. because I usually do my classes by 10 p.m., sometimes 9, 10, 11, with some persons one to one. And I only teach you straight up on how to use AI to do a whole lot of things. And you can also, please, don't be a dummy teacher. Go on YouTube to learn. YouTube, like one of my mentors will say, YouTube is a free school. Use it to your tool. But if you are this person that doesn't know how to sit down and learn for yourself, you want someone to, I am always available to guide you and teach you on how you can actually achieve all of this. So I hope I've been able to make sense and tell you that AI can help you with your lesson plan. AI can help you with assessment. So don't think of generating 100 questions when AI can help you do that in less than 5 minutes. In fact, for you, before you resume school in 2 weeks' time or 3 weeks' time, you should have finished your lesson plan with AI. In one day, you can finish 12 weeks lesson plan. I hope with this viewpoint of mine, I've been able to convince you that don't suffer yourself. Suffer no dey tire you. Let AI assist you. All you need to do, sit down, read what AI has given you, proofread it, and be the teacher. Teach. Because most times we spend 70 to 80% writing lesson plan, doing other things, and we use 20% to teach. AI has come to let you do your primary job, which is teach, while AI assist you. Thank you very much, and thank you, Abdullah, for having me. I'm sure that I said something positive. Thank you very much.
Wow, this is amazing. Thank you so much. Please let's appreciate our speaker. Wow, so short and concise. This is so amazing. So I hope that whatever doubt, whatever myths you have about AI has just been shattered now. So you have been introduced to a lot of tools that you can make it up. So my dear teachers, if the only AI tool you know is ChatGPT, now you know that you are missing out a great deal. So please let's appreciate our speaker. We're going to be having our next speaker any moment from now. And so I'm going to give an opportunity for just a question. So if you have questions to ask before you go, ask your question now. Now, he has told you, I'm going to drop the link to his YouTube channel on the WhatsApp group so that you can follow his YouTube channel and go and watch the video. He has a lot of content on his YouTube channel. That YouTube channel alone is a school for on AI on its own. So make sure you go and follow it. I'm going to drop the link on the WhatsApp group. So if you have any question, please drop it now. We can only accommodate just one question. So I'm expecting that. And if you have any question, our speaker is ready to we can let our speaker go. Thank you so much, Mr. Samuel. I really appreciate this. I really appreciate this. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very
The
much. Okay.
participants are so happy. They are so happy to have you. and
Thank you
try
very
to take
much.
of their
Yeah.
comments.
Thank you very much. Do have a good day, Mr. Abdullah. Thank you, everyone.
All right, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. You can actually follow me on Facebook. My name is, okay, it's Tom Phonics anywhere. Tom Phonics anywhere.
Yes, Tom
LinkedIn,
Phonics.
Instagram, Tom Phonics. Yeah. Just look for Tom Phonics. You don't need to spell my name, Tom Phonics, and you can find me. Thank you very much.
All right, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone, for staying here. I'm going to be going to the next session now since we don't have any question. We're going to be going to the next session immediately. All right, sir. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate your presence, sir. Thank you so much. So, our next session is going to be on burnout to balance. Burnout to balance. And then the idea behind this. And our speaker is ready in the house. Let me just add that to the stage so you can see her. Okay, so the topic is from burnout to balance. And idea behind this topic is that we have a lot of educators who get stressed out, and the teaching job is actually a stressful job. It requires a lot of it requires your physical alertness, require you to invest a lot. Okay, so uh, most of the time we get stressed out or we get burnt out. So how do we recover? And one thing I've also noticed is that teachers, we don't take care of our mental health as seriously as we're supposed to do. So we take care of other people, we take care of our children, our students. If anything is wrong with any of them, we take care of them like mother hen, but we forget ourselves. And that's why you have to like invite a specialist, a mental health expert and advocate who's going to be taking us through how we can deal with mental health. The topic is going to be from burnout to balance strategies for sustainable teaching career by Miss Alexander Comfort. So I'm just going to read out a profile now, and then we're going to get started immediately. So please give me a sec. So now, so in a world where mental health challenges are escalating, leaving individuals vulnerable to stress, job loss, and more, the need for effective therapy and counseling has reached an overwhelming proportion. Alexander Comfort is a mental health provider telling the mental health stories the African way. She has trained and taught a handful of organizations on mental health literacy, and she's also a cognitive behavioral therapist with amazing positive client-centered feedback. Our mission is clear. It is to inspire a widespread shift towards procreative mental health practices, fostering healthier and sounder lives for all, equipping individuals with the tools to navigate mental health challenges, prevent triggers, and cultivate a holistic well-being. She is the convener of the Macaulay Sane campaign, a campaign to promote adaptive coping strategies among military personnel and advocate for knowledge-based healthy coping strategy for anxiety among public school students. She's also the convener of the annual Sane Conference, geared towards increasing awareness about mental health, promoting help seeking behaviors, and preventing suicide. Alexander Comfort studied human physiology for her first degree and have decided to master the art of clinical and mental health counseling in view for her second degree. She's certified in trauma management in displacement and resettlement, risk management in displacement and resettlement, both certifications by the Center for Innovation, Procurement and Social Standard of the Joseph Sanwan Taka University, Makurdi, Benue State, Nigeria. She's currently serving as the state coordinator for the global network of Crusaders Against Narcotics and Alcohol Abuse, an NGO that advocates against substance abuse and misuse while providing a life in facility to enhance psychosocial and psychological support to females with substance use disorders for free. Thank you, and you can connect with her on social media on Alexander Comfort on LinkedIn, Facebook, and everywhere else. So she's going to be coming up now. Please get ready. Let's welcome our speaker, please. Welcome our speaker. Let's welcome our speaker. All right, ma, you can take the floor, ma. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation. Thank you. Thank you. Really appreciate it. I don't take it for granted. Thank you, ma.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everybody. I believe I'm clear enough. Thank you, Mr.
Yes, you are.
Adedeji. Please confirm you can hear me clearly.
Yes, I can hear you clearly. Please, if you can hear our speaker clearly, please put a comment on the drop a comment. Let us know you can hear her clearly. She will not be able to use her video, but
Okay.
then let's know you can hear her clearly.
Okay, while they do that, I hope they can actually hear me. I want to say thank you for giving me this opportunity to share with your audience. And then I hope you have to manage my voice. I'm actually recuperating, so my voice will be sounding very husky. Like, I hope it's not all in my head. So, out of Nigeria, it's an amazing thing all of you are doing. When I was in SS1, I didn't like I didn't like physics. Not like I didn't like it, but I wasn't doing very well in physics and further maths. And so there was this particular teacher that was teaching us both further maths and physics. And so each time I don't do very well, he basically hitting on me and stuffs like that. But then the day I actually scored the highest in one of the tests, and then he was praising me, I was like, this man actually went good for me. I was thinking this man just hated me, and all of that. So I want to say thank you to everybody that are putting out their life on the line to make sure that we have individuals in society that knows how to speak English, that knows how to solve maths, that knows how to communicate, that knows how to do several other things. You are the real MVPs. Thank you so much. So basically, I'll be talking on burnout to balance. So I'll be sharing with us strategies on preventing burnout in our profession, on the teaching career, right? So in psychology, we describe burnout as a state of chronic stress that leads to physical and emotional exhaustion, detachment, and feelings of ineffectiveness and lack of accomplishment. So let's note the things I've mentioned. I said it's a state of chronic stress that leads to physical and emotional exhaustion. That means the stress is leading to physical and emotional exhaustion. It also leads to detachment and feelings of ineffectiveness and lack of accomplishment. So you're in the job that you one time love and still love, but then you realize that it's so stressful when it's towards exam time. You just no longer feel this whole vibe thing because you want to mark 50 or 100 scripts, and then you have to create results for all of them, and then defend points. And maybe the administrator of the school, proprietress of the school, now makes you the head of the drama unit. So while you're marking scripts, you're also creating scripts for drama for end of year party. So you get to that point where you are physically and emotionally exhausted, and then you begin to detach. You begin to feel like you're not doing enough. You begin to feel like, oh, even though I'm doing enough, I'm not accomplishing what I'm supposed to accomplish. At that point, you have to realize that you're moving from stress to burnout. And so, as part of what we'll be discussing, thank you everyone that's welcoming me. I hope we are on the same page. Thank you so much for welcoming me. And so, we'll be looking at the causes of burnout in the teaching profession. We'll be looking at the effects of burnout in relation to a teacher's performance or the teacher's performance, as you might want to put it. We'll be looking at the levels of burnout in the teaching profession. I believe when I get to that point where I'll mention the different levels, someone would actually relate that, oh, I think I'm at this point at the moment, good enough, we're on holiday now. And then I would lastly be sharing on how to prevent burnout, how double as you're managing or coping strategies for burnout in the teaching profession. So let's look at causes of burnout in the teaching profession. What are the causes of burnout in teaching profession? Excessive workload. As a teacher teaching 50 students, 50 plus students, the school I attended, and I think several other schools, they usually have what they call, they have regular teachers and then they have form teachers. But I know in some schools now, they double as both form teachers. But I know in some schools now, they double as both form teachers and then the teaching staffs. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. So you now see one person who have to mark 1 hour, the other person. Like the one person will mark for 50 plus students. I'm not saying anything because I know there are schools who can call a particular child to teach maths, teach economics, or one that's teaching chemistry to teach maths and physics alongside. And then I can bet you that most of the times they don't compensate them financially as regarding the worth and the value they put out there. Another cause of burnout in the teaching profession is lack of support. Lack of support. Poor working conditions. I believe some of us on this call can relate to what I'm saying. Poor working condition. Limited autonomy. Limited autonomy. So we have people that are administrators in schools, people that are heads of school, maybe junior, senior, primary, and the rest. And then they have their own ideology. It might be outdated, it might be recent. They have a view of how they want you to teach a particular subject, how they want you to relate a particular subject to others. Not like the way you are relating yours is not correct or it doesn't send the same message, but they want it to be this way. So in some schools, some teachers don't even have that teacher autonomy to do what they would love to do, the way they would love to do them. They don't have the autonomy to teach in the best of ways they would love to teach. They don't have the autonomy to express the topic the way they would want to express it. They would rather want to do it the proprietor's way, the director's way, the admin's way, and the likes. And that can actually be very, very frustrating. Another cause of burnout in the teaching profession is negative relationship with students. It's so pathetic that in this generation we have a lot of wealthy parents who tell teachers what to do with their children. I just hope I'm not the only one saying these things that people can actually relate. Please, if you can relate to the instances I'm citing, please do well to type on the comment section so I know I'm not constituting nuisance on this call. So unfortunately, we have parents who want the teachers to relate to their children a certain way, even though it's beyond the standard of the school or below, will I say below the standard of the school. And then because this parent has some form of voice and financial contributions in PTA meetings and the likes, and then you see teachers bending, you know very well that this child needs to be flogged. But then you cannot do much because the father will arrest you. That's because the school does not protect the interest of the teachers as much as it protects the interest of the students or the pupils, as the case might be. Please, somebody should type, let me know that I'm not talking to myself. Another cause of burnout in the teaching profession is isolation from colleagues. Isolation from colleagues. Now, there's a place for boundaries, healthy boundaries in the workplace. Yes. But then totally isolating yourself from your other colleagues might actually lead you to a bigger trouble, what we might want to call workplace depression. Because the more you relate with your colleagues, the more you realize that you are not standing alone in this whole struggle. The more you relate to your colleagues, the more you know that, if this person is finding it difficult to mark a certain number of scripts, I'm also finding it difficult to mark. That means I'm not alone. It's nothing spiritual. It's just part of the job. Adedeji, please, can you hear me? Please confirm you can hear me. Is he on the call? Or somebody should please type if you can still hear me. Oh, nobody's typing. I hope I've not been talking. Okay. Thank you, Olatunde Balogun, for replying. I was just about saying, hope I'm not talking to myself. Thank you, ma'am, for replying. So let's continue. The last cause I'll be mentioning here of burnout in the teaching profession is lack of appreciation. Prior to this time, I would want to say in our parents' time, they would be a teacher. because people could actually praise you for being a teacher. But then at the moment, we've come to realize that the teachers are not even being appreciated so much, even in the country. That's why you hear NASU is always going on strike, ASU is going on strike, everybody. And then the profession is now looking like is belittled or it has no value attached to it. Meanwhile, this is the same profession that birthed each and every one of us, including the politicians. Because if there were no teachers, we wouldn't have been here. If nobody taught me, I wouldn't have been here. If nobody taught me from nursery to primary to secondary to the university, I wouldn't be where I am today. You wouldn't be where you are. You wouldn't even see someone to use as a role model or a pointer to be a teacher. So, but then the reverse has been the case in this generation because if somebody, a child walks up to you and, oh, what do you want to be? It wants to be a teacher. I'm sure some other persons will start mocking at them and laughing because they are not being appreciated enough. So, all of these things I've listed could actually lead to burnout. I've mentioned excessive workload, I've mentioned lack of support, I've mentioned poor working conditions, I've mentioned limited autonomy. If you are an admin here, a proprietress, a director, please look into giving your teachers autonomy to present their subject the way they would love to, not outside the curriculum, but in a way that best, presents their personality alongside business skills. I'm sorry, I mentioned I was actually recuperating. I'm not feeling so well. So pardon me if I have to cough, sneeze, and all of that. I'm so sorry about that. So let's continue. The next thing we're going to be looking at is level of burnout in the teaching profession. Okay, so the level of burnout in the teaching profession, we have level one, level two, level three, level four. And so we'll be explaining each and every one of them. So we'll see if we can actually relate to what I'll be mentioning. Now, basically in psychology, when you're talking about burnout, the first stage of any onset of burnout is honeymoon phase. We call it the honeymoon phase. It's the honeymoon phase because each time you're looking for a job, each time you're pursuing an offer, there's this excitement that comes with it. Oh, I want to teach in this school, this institution, this university, this private institution, and all of that. And so you're working tooth and nail to make sure that you get the offer. And then you finally get it. You are so excited. Oh, they are paying 50K or 100K as the case might be. It's a well known school. They have, wealthy parents. Looking at all of the benefits, you are mentioning all of that, and you were so excited. We call that the honeymoon phase. That's like the first stage for the onset of any form of burnout, and it happens also in the teaching profession. Because once you get the job, you're always very excited. Oh, after so many years of looking for a job, I finally got one. Yes, it's quite understood. And so the level one, we call it passionate but overwhelmed or overwhelming stage. Now, in that level one stage, you are already a passionate teacher. What you love doing is teaching. In fact, people just see you on the road and say, you go sabi teach oh." Sorry, I had to use PG. Sorry about that. So, but then people just see you and then they can affirm almost immediately that you'll be an excellent teacher. And so you have passion for it. You want to teach people, you want to impact knowledge and all of that. So you're very passionate. So passion can lead to burnout actually. It's very difficult to burn out of something you don't care about deeply. A passion for teaching leads to commitment. That is the truth. If you have passion for teaching, once you get a teaching job or a teaching offer, you'll be committed to it almost 100%, which is not bad at all. So it encourages you, your passion encourages you to work you're passionate about teaching boundaries or you cannot say no because you have passion for it. You accept all of them. Can you do this? Yes, I can. Mrs. Ikechi, can you do this? Yes, I can. Oh, Mrs. Nora, please help us do this. Yes, ma. Then you begin the circle of burnout, or you begin your road walk to Hello, sorry. Hello. Can anybody confirm they can still hear me? I'm sorry about the break. I think that was, I don't know. I can't even accuse my server because it didn't even blink. So I don't know where the hitch came in from. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Ma'am Aisha, for confirming that you can hear me. Do. So let's just run with the levels of burnout for teachers, but overwhelming. Like you're very passionate about your job, you really want to impact people, you want them to know what you're talking about, and then you deliver excellently. But then along the line, because being responsible attracts more responsibilities. So your admin, your senior lecturer, your professors and the likes starts giving you more tasks to deliver on. And so because you don't have a healthy mental health, okay, sorry about that. And then hobbies outside of work. So because in all of your teaching, you feel like you're exhausted, you feel like you're tired. And so somebody might walk up to you and say, you said you're tired. What exactly is the problem? You're like, I don't even know. I'm just tired. I feel like I'm so stressed and all of that. Thank you very much. So at that point, you feel exhaustion for the first time. You begin to take an unimaginable load of work and pour your heart into your student. You notice more work and responsibilities being sent your way. Yes, once people see you are good, they will send work to you. And then there are different types of fatigue. We have helper fatigue, we have compassion fatigue, and mention them, a lot of that. And most of the time, what we do with some students, you show them compassion, you help them, and then you realize that at some point you're even tired of helping. And for Christians, they will say how do they say it? The spirit is it the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. At that point, you are overwhelmed and you notice exhaustion for the very first time in your career. Now, in the school, let's say secondary school and primary school, I have that deal with terms. It might be very well with you at the beginning of the term, middle of the term, but once it's towards midterm, an exam, or after exam, you realize that, oh, indicators for this level, high level, you become very quick to I hope you become easily irritated at work. Are you serious? Can you can anybody hear me? I don't even know. Someone just typed level 3. Let me know if anybody is on the same page with me. I'm in level 2 now, actually. Okay, Mr. Dideji, you can, but I think your people are saying they can't hear. I don't know. Somebody said network is completely gone. I just hope. Okay, I'm at level 2 now and I'm discussing the indicators that you're in level 2 burnout. Let me continue. I hope somebody can pick it up from there and type for them. So I said one of the indicators for level 2 burnout is high levels of stress, followed by irritability. You become very irritable at work and at home. What somebody might want to say, you easily transfer aggression to your children and to your spouse and to other members of your household. So every little thing gets to you. If somebody steps on your foot, you want to fight the person. The person carry your spoon, maybe for your plate on the floor, you want to slap the person already. I believe you understand what I'm trying to say. Because it's not always that way. When you are irritated, you are irritated. But then at this level, you are easily irritated. Like little things get to you. The third indicator, oh, thank you. Thank you. Please, what level can you hear now? What level can you hear now? Let me know if I should Okay, level 2 is overwhelmed and becoming cynical. I just hope the server issues is not different on different ends. So I was saying that at this point, you notice your first ever exhaustion in the job, and then the indicators are high levels of stress, it. You start bringing them home from not doing enough for your students. You start dealing with guilt from not doing enough for your students rather. You start feeling like, oh, I'm not doing enough for this job, I'm not doing enough for these children, I'm not teaching them enough, I'm not doing enough as a teacher and all of that. Even though maybe you are doing enough, but because of the stress, you can no longer complete a scheme, a curriculum or something, and then guilt sets in. Okay, they will pay me at the end of the month, and then I'm not delivering on what I'm supposed to deliver, and the likes. Please, somebody should type the last thing the person heard, so I will know we're on the same page. Okay, let me just continue and hope that we'll catch up along the line as long as the server doesn't knock me off. The last indicator on that level, it's feeling like there's never time for friends and families. Feeling like there's never time for friends and families. At this point, you start losing relationships, both family relationship, where the one you have with your children and yourself, the one you have with yourself and your spouse, where you have with yourself and your siblings and all of that, because you start feeling like, oh, they will not understand. I have too much on my table. I need to do this. I need to do that. I need to cover up here. I need to cover up there. And then you realize that you are actually, oh, beautiful. Thank you. Some persons are actually following. Thank you very much for typing. So I would know I'm not talking to myself. So let's continue. I just mentioned feeling like there's never time for friends and family. At this point, you start having issues with your relationships. You might start losing friends. You might start losing connectivity with family members because to you, they don't understand what you're going through. You have too many things on your table. But to them, you're intentionally ignoring them. Level three, at level three, you are approaching exhaustion. That's to say, you are approaching complete burnout. Now, what are some of the indicators for this level? Isolation, in and out of work, feelings of paranoia, every school policy, program, anything they put together in the school, you feel like it's out to get you. And that alone can make your work for the day very difficult. Every policy they bring up upon every teacher or parent teachers meeting, you feel like they are out to get you. I'm talking about level three now. Level three is you approaching exhaustion. You are approaching complete burnout. One of your indicator is you're always in and out of work. The second indicator is feelings of paranoia. Every school policy, every program they bring up in school, you feel like those policies and programs are out to get you, like they just want to frustrate you. And then that alone makes your job very difficult. The next indicator on that level is a refusal to engage in professional development. A lot of persons that started up in the teaching profession, they had dreams to become more. Some wanted to be lecturers, professors, academic doctors and the likes. But then they said, oh, let me start small. Let me start from teaching biology in secondary school. And then you start from there, only for you to realize that after 2 years, 5 years, 6 years, you're no longer interested in the teaching profession. You don't even feel like furthering anymore. Oh, you've gotten this qualification. Why not go ahead to maybe go for a master's, a PhD or something? Say, no, this one I've done is okay. Let me look for something else and do with my life. As I'm mentioning these levels, as much as you can hear, think of the level you are. And so when I get to preventing burnout, so you know how to work on them. So we can all be better and excellent teachers at our different places. The last thing I mentioned is first. Like I mentioned earlier, prior to this time, to be one of the most noble professions in the world. It's noble. It's people. Level four is complete exhaustion and breakdown. Remember, I said level three is approaching exhaustion. That is, you're approaching complete burnout. So level four is complete exhaustion and breakdown. At level four, let me just go say they'll pay me salary at the end of the month. I believe when you get to this point in your listening, you understand what I'm trying to say. So some people just say, if some people they've passed pass those other first three stages. In level four now, what they are doing is, let me just go, so they'll pay me salary at the end of the month. They are in survival mode, feelings of exhaustion every day, including holidays and summer, lack of optimism for career and passion or personal life, drastic increase in sick days. You're always calling in sick because if it's not malaria, it's tiredness. If it's not typhoid, it's I don't even feel like going to anywhere this morning, and all of that. Okay, just to wrap up, I'll be looking at the effects of stress and burnout in relation to teachers' performance. The effect of stress and burnout, no matter how excellent you are, how passionate you are, if you are burnt out, it will affect you and your student physically. It will affect you and your students behaviorally and relationally. It will affect you and your students emotionally and psychologically. Because when you walk into your classroom, you are not just teaching with your voice, you're teaching both with expressions, physical expressions, demonstrations, and all. And then you begin to realize that your children might even start asking you questions like, Auntie, are you not feeling fine? Sir, are you not feeling fine? Are you okay? Because the energy is not the same as it used to be. It also has behavioral and relational effects. I mentioned you not having time with your family members and friends, and you can also drive that down to your school, with your colleagues, with your students. You can even pick up offenses where there are no offense. And then emotional and psychological effects. It has its own toll on you and has its own toll on the child because you felt the something that ideally, on a very good day, healthy circumstance, you would just talk and look over it. And when you flog three students and then the entire class is filled with fear already, how would they learn? How would they cope? How would they become to learn and ask questions? Let me run. My time is up. So preventing burnout, I think this is the climax of this conversation. Preventing burnout. How do you prevent burnout? How do you manage burnout? And then if number one, learn to set healthy boundaries. Learn to set healthy boundaries. Learn to set healthy boundaries and when to say no. No, let's divide this work into two. Give one to some other person and give me one. Don't give me all of them because I don't know if it happens in your area, but I know it happens in mine. That whether you like it or not, once you pick ability to it, and at the end of the term, you cannot provide results for your student. Will anybody come and tell you, "Oh, don't worry, leave her. She was working on a proprietor's job. That's why she didn't deliver." Nobody will give that excuse for you. You will hear something like, "Other teachers have submitted their work. You've not submitted," and then, people start, and then you start asking yourself questions like, "This person gave me something that was taking my time, workload. I've mentioned the other person what to do instead of taking the workload upon yourself." Practice time management. Practice time management is very important. Embrace self-care. In part of practicing time management, please call what is work work, call what is home home. Learn to keep work related things at work and then come home and face home. I don't know if I made any sense with that last statement I made. If it's, you can say, okay, today I want to mark 20 square meters. scripts. Today I want to create lesson notes for this. And in all of your, let's say, 8 hours you'll be staying in school, you check which time best works for you to see how to scribble down something on your notes, or mark 10, 5, 7. Then the other time you continue marking and all of that. So know when to say this is work and this is home. Leave work at the workplace and come back home to meet home. Because if you bring work to the home, you conflict the both. And another way you can actually do that, because some people will be like, oh, we don't have time in school, so we have to come back home to, complete the marking, or maybe help use our older children to help us mark. Set out a place in your house that you know that everything about work, I do it here. I hope you get this part. So you say, oh, I cannot always do everything work at work because I definitely need to bring you home somehow because of time. Set out a place in your house that is for work. Anytime you step out of that corner, you don't have any business with work outside that corner. Yes, make it a deliberate effort to practice that. It will help you manage time and manage yourself too. Set a small cubicle at the side of your house. Okay, all the time I come back home, usually I'll be sitting down to mark or create lesson note. Once you leave that cubicle, that space, you are facing home. I believe we got that. Embrace self-care. I'm trying to meet up time. Embrace self-care. You notice some teachers when they started, I don't know if any of you have noticed it, when they started in the teaching profession, they are always paying, like at the top of their game. Their makeup, their shoe, their clothes, everything is at bar. And then along the line, you start seeing somebody no longer interested. You're wearing slippers, wearing sandal, just do one stupid thing anyhow, no longer ironing your shirt. They're like, not sure I'm going to teach. It happens a lot in public schools too. Yes, burnout is not only for private school teachers, it happens to public school teachers too. To embrace self-care, be intentional about these things because they help you track and mark your progress, and they help you know when you are diving into depression. I used to tell people when I talk about depression that sometimes the little things the okay, let's say the most things we are looking out for in our friends, relatives, and siblings when it comes to depression are just around us, but we cannot see it. Let me give an example. I'm so sorry, Adedeji. I will be rounding up very soon. An example is, I for a person, I like pressing clothes, even down to t-shirts. I like pressing t-shirt if I'm stepping out. And then if you have somebody in your house that likes pressing t-shirts, maybe take their bath rather 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times a day. And then you begin to realize that this person doesn't even take their bath a whole day. They don't press their clothes anymore. Someone that is a sucker for scent no longer sprays perfume. These are little personal hygiene symptoms or signs to point out to you that this person is actually depressed at the moment. So it happens too. When you begin to realize that areas that you were very intentional about when you started your job, you're no longer intentional about, you have to watch it. It's either the job is becoming overwhelming or you are detaching from what brought your interest to the job, or the job is, in fact, you're just going so they will pay you salary at the end of the month. So I believe we got a little of what I'm trying to explain at that point. Stay passionate and curious. Stay passionate and curious. That's my last point on preventing burnout. Stay passionate and curious. Staying passionate is different, but curiosity, because if you're not curious, you won't want to crave for more, you won't want to know more, you won't want to have more and the likes, right? But if you're curious, you want to go for more. Oh, I want to be a professor. If you're curious, even with the tiredness of saying, oh, let me try assistant lecturer. And then you see that you keep building your profession and you're expanding before I exit at this juncture. I hope I've been able to, okay, I remember what I wanted to say. Journaling, journaling and delegation of duties. They are two different things. Let me explain them shortly. In the course of the conversation, we also mentioned that you would not have to accept everything. You can tell them to give it to some other person, then you teach the person how to do it and leave it with the person. And then if you are in a class that has a minder or an assistant teacher, You can always teach them how to do certain things for you while you focus on the ones that are more important and professional. I believe you got that point. And then journaling. Journaling will help you a lot. A lot of persons that are above 30 will tell you, I don't do shrinks, because you will not always have to go and pay a therapist to listen to you. But then you have your book, you have your pen, you journal your thoughts. They help you process them. Don't run away from processing your thoughts. In processing them, you find your answers. And try to pick healthy coping strategies, not the ones that will lead you from one trouble to another. With these few points of mine, once again, I hope I'm able to convince and not to confuse you. I hope you enjoyed your class. I'm sorry about the server hitches. It wasn't intentional. And I hope to read all of your feedbacks. You can follow me on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, now called X. You can send me a message on WhatsApp, send your feedbacks. I really want to know how this class went, if you enjoyed it or not. Thank you once again, Mr. Latif, Adedeji, and thank you everyone for joining the call. I hope you do have yourself a beautiful and amazing day. If there's any question, I'll be willing to attend to them now. Thank you.
So fine. Hello, thank you so much. I really appreciate. Thank you so much, and I really appreciate the sacrifice. Sorry about your health. Thank you so much, and I'm also sorry about the network. I hope everybody can hear me. Please let me know if you can hear me. Thank you for staying to this moment. We are so sorry about the network. We're going to go ahead right into the uh okay, thank you so much, Miss Margaret Daniel. We're going to go right into the next session now. Thank you so much, Miss Comfort. I really appreciate your sacrifice. I appreciate everything you have to put up to be here. I'm sorry about your head. I hope I really pray that you get better. Thank you so very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Please let's appreciate our speaker. Let's appreciate our speaker. It takes a lot for them to be here. Yeah, it takes a lot for them to be here.
Thank
It takes a lot for them to be here. Let's appreciate them. Let's appreciate them.
you
Let's appreciate rather. So we're going to be
very much.
going to the next session now, and we're going to be having Mrs. Temitope Adejimo. She has been here, she's been listening, she's ready for us, and our topic is going to be moving beyond success. Moving beyond success, moving beyond success. You define success rather moving beyond grades to measure student achievement. And the essence of this is that as a teacher myself, and I know we all have this experience that most of the time the only thing we use to measure the success of our students is their grade. And I'm very sure you are. For me now, as a mathematics teacher, I've some kind of experience where I taught my students, I gave them assignment to do, and a particular student I'm very sure understand what I'm doing. He or she understand it very well. We come back and score 2/10. Okay, we score 2/10. And that's not because he or she does not know it, but because there's something that probably there's some little mistake that he or she makes. But then I have someone else that will score 10/10. But if you ask that person to come and do it on the board or to explain, the person will not be able to do it. So in the bigger world or in the classroom nowadays, we put more, what's it called? We pay more attention to what people score, to what our students score, other than just to what they have itself or to their knowledge, or we only focus or the only way we measure achievement of our students is just by their exam grade. And so today we're going to be having an expert, we're going to be having someone who's very passionate about this topic, speak to us about how to we define success, how to move beyond grade when we talk about the achievements of our students. And I'm going to just quickly read out our profile now so that we can get to know the person that is going to be speaking to us. So Mrs. Temitope Adejimo is a biology teacher, environment and health advocate, teaching professional at Lagos State Ministry of Education, and a mentor at CPR. She had her first and second degrees from the University of Lagos, soil biology and environmental management, respectively. She also had a postgraduate diploma in education and other education qualifications. She has over 10 years of professional experience in education, especially with teenagers. She desires a better environment for education for both the students and the teachers alike. So you're welcome, Ma. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate she has been here for long. Thank you so much. Can you please let's welcome our speaker, please? Let's welcome our speaker. Thank you so much, and you can take the floor, Ma. Okay, Ma, you can go on, Ma. Oh, I think network. So let's just wait a bit for her to come back. Let's wait a bit for her to come back. You join us soon. Just please let's wait. Uh, this network is something else. Are we still here? Please let me know. Can you still hear me? Are we getting value so far? This is the Progressive Educators Bootcamp, and we hope you're getting value. We hope you're learning a lot from the speakers so far. This is the third session. We still have a lot of we still have two more sessions that is coming up. I can see your comments. I can see your comments. Thank you, Mrs. Ijoma. Thank you. Uh, I'm just a bit waiting for her to come back. I know it's a network. She'll join us very soon. So just please let's wait a bit for her. Just wait a bit for her to come back. Okay, she's back now. She's back.
I'm so sorry about
You
that.
can go
I
on now.
don't. It seems the network now is so bad.
I
So
don't.
once
I
again,
can hear
good
you.
morning.
Can you please check your mic?
Yeah, it's on. It's on. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello. Can you hear me?
Okay, can you hear her? Let me know if you can hear her. I know she's back
Please let me
now.
know if
Can
you
you
can
see
hear
her?
me. Let me know. Let me know if you
I can
can
see
hear
that
me.
she's talking, but I can't hear her. Can you please check your microphone? I know you are not muted. Okay,
I'm not muted. I can actually. I
okay,
can.
yeah, that's good.
Everything is okay. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Please let me know if you can hear me. Please, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, please? Hello? Hello? Please, if you can hear me, please let me know so that I can go on with the topic for today. Hello? Hello? Please, can you hear me? Can you hear me, please? Mr. Abdulatif, please, can you hear me? I'm not seeing any sign that you can hear me. Hello? Please, can you hear me? Please, can you hear me? I can't, and now I'm the one that cannot hear. Hello? Please let me know if you can hear me. Please, can we all hear me? Please can you just type so that I know that you can hear me? Okay, once again, good morning, my fellow esteemed colleagues. I am so honored to be here. This is a wonderful program, Mr. Abdul Latif. Thank you for this program, and I pray that God blesses you for what you are doing. And to my fellow colleagues, just like the last speaker spoke about, it's just like she talked about, burnout is real, and we must find different ways of avoiding burnout. Now to the topic of today. My topic is redefining success. Redefining success, and moving, the other part of the topic is moving beyond grades to measure students' achievements. Moving beyond grades to measure students' achievements. Now, I want to give a preamble. Please let me know if you are listening to me. Let me know that I'm not speaking to myself. Please you can just type there that you can hear what I'm saying. So let me give a preamble on this. Just like Mr. Abdul Latif said when he was introducing me, he talked about the fact that he's a maths teacher and you have students that they do so well in class. But when you get to the point where you give an assignment or you give a test or you give an examination, you find out that they don't do well. Is it that there is a problem with such students? The answer most of the time is no. It's just that we have not found a way of harnessing the abilities of that student. We have not found ways of harnessing the abilities of that student. So this topic that I am going to talk about is, we are going to look at ways, we are going to look at challenges that these students might have that might not make them be able to have the grades that we as teachers expect them to have. Now, when I was in secondary school, during my younger years, I was not the A-listed student. And not being an A-listed student, you know that most of the time we trying to segregate children who are not A-listed students. We look at the A students and we put them on a pedestal. But you see, those of us that are not the A students, maybe we might be the C students or the D students, you put them on a different pedestal. So most of the time you concentrate more, we as teachers, we tend to concentrate more on the A students and we don't focus on the C students. Now that is actually a problem. Please, can we all hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you, ma. Yes, I can.
Okay. Did you hear the other parts I have been saying, or you just started hearing now? Should I start
Yeah,
all over
I had
again?
the other part. The thing is, my network is really. Yeah, it's fine. It
Okay,
seems they
bad.
can hear
Okay.
you from the beginning.
Okay, no problem. So let me continue. So most of the time we tend to focus on the students that are the A listed students, and we forget those ones that are just coming up, that are not the best of students. And you see that actually poses a problem, because every student, like I always tell my students, every student has the potential to be an A listed student. All we need to do is find how to make them an A listed student. Now, from my own, like I said it before, I was not an A listed student when I was in the secondary school. And there was actually no teacher that looked at me and said, this girl has potential to be an A student. Now I am an A student. I know that I'm an A student. So because of this, I train my children. I look at them how my teachers did not look at me back at school. I'm not blaming my teachers, no. What I'm just trying to say is that we teachers, we have the potential to see what other people do not see. Now, let me give an example. There was a particular time I was teaching the terminal class, SS3. I teach biology, and that's for SS1 to SS3, so I deal more with teenagers. Now, there was a particular day I went to a particular class, and they were to have morning classes from 7 to 8 before they start the main class. Now, I noticed a particular girl when I started teaching them, and I found out that this girl was sleeping in class. So I just joked over it with her and the other classmates that, why are you sleeping in class? It's too, did you wake up, sleep late or something like that? So we just laughed over it. And, it's not a laugh of mockery or anything. We just laughed over it. But I found out that every other time I went to the class, this girl was always sleeping. Now, for context, this girl is not an A-listed student that I would have said, oh, she's not even an A-listed student. Let me leave her alone. To me, every child is important. And I always say that. Every child is important. So I eventually, when it continues, every time I get to the class, I always find her sleeping. And it's not those sleep that you just close your eyes and open your eyes. Deep sleep. I decided that there was a problem. I knew that there was a problem. So I told her, without anybody understanding, she didn't even know who I was talking to. I just told her, come and see me in my office after this class. And she came. And before she got there, by the time I got back to my office, I met her class teacher in my office and I told her about the girl. By the time we spoke, the girl came in, we spoke with her. What is the problem? I find out that you are always sleeping in class. Is there a problem? And we found out that this girl was an apprentice in a particular shop. Remember, I said she's in SS3. She's an apprentice in a particular shop, and her boss knows that she's so good that she does not want to release her. Do you understand? She doesn't want to release her. So now she goes to that place once she closes from school. She gets there and she works till very late in the night. She told us that she leaves at 11, sometimes 11:30 to 12. Her mom will come and pick her from the place. Now, this girl does not have time to sleep, does not even have time to read. Do you understand what I'm saying? She doesn't have time to sleep, she doesn't have time to read, and she's preparing for WAEC and she's going to do NECO. So we now asked her, what is our next line of action for I and the class teacher? We asked the girl, will you be willing for us to call your mom so that we discuss this with her? And the girl was so happy. She was excited. She gave us her mom's number and we called her immediately. And then by the time the mom came, we explained everything that was happening. Even the mom did not know that the girl was passing through all those things. So I am trying to make you understand that every child is important, not just the A-listed children. Eventually, the woman had to go and speak with the boss. And by the time she spoke with the boss now told her that she doesn't have to come every day, that she should just come over only on the weekends. And this girl went on to pass her WAEC, and she also went on to pass her NECO. Now, what am I trying to say? If I had said that this girl was not an A-listed student, and I did not focus on her and find out about the problem that she was facing, even the grade she got in WAEC, which is her final exam, she wouldn't have gotten it. So as teachers, we have to be very, very observant. Do not focus on children who are the best in your class. Be observant about the ones who are trying also. I don't know if it might be because of the fact that I was actually a trying student. That is why I am observant of them. Do you understand? But as teachers, don't focus on the ones who are best. Now, I have set that as a preamble. Now, good grades are very good. It sells the school, it sells the teachers, it sells tutorial centers. Having good grades are very, very good. But in the process of us making sure that these children have good grades, also make sure that we are not only working on the academics. Let's remember that we are working on an all-round student. A student that is perfect, that is okay. Let me not use the word perfect, that is all right in all ramifications. So we are looking at the whole student. We are not just looking at the academic side of the student. I've had many experiences of students who people had written them off. But when other teachers came into their lives, there was a difference. You have the potential to make a big difference in the life of a child. You can either bring out the best learning outcomes from a child, or you can bring out the worst negative learning outcomes from a child. It is in the hands of a teacher if a child does well. I don't mean completely now. It is in the hands of a teacher if a child does well, or if a child does not do well. So as teachers, let us try our best. Don't only focus on their grades. As I said before, grades are very good. I love students who get A's, but I am also interested in the ones that get C's and D's. I will try my best to make sure that I always tell them, you have the potential to become an A student. All you need to do is to work at it. I will do my best, also do your best. Let us also understand that. Now, I want to focus on other ways. As teachers, what are some of the things that we can do to make sure that our children are A students, or they do better in their grades, or we are looking at them beyond the grades? Now, as teachers, we have to, I've already said that in the process of me talking, that teachers must have empathy. Do not We must have empathy, and we must also be observant. We must have empathy and we must also be observant. Make sure that whatever you are doing, you look at it from the eyes of a child. Most of the time, we look at these children from the eyes of adults. Put yourself sometimes in their shoes. I teach in a government school, in a public school, and I don't know if it is the same with private school, because I am not in the shoes of a private school teacher. But you see, some of the students I have dealt with in public schools, some of them face issues that are beyond their age. I have dealt with students who have mother and father are divorced, affected their academics, the children are fending for themselves. So you know that in one way or the other, I had a student then that was entering into depression. This boy he was supposed to be an A-listed student, but because of what he was facing, he dropped so bad that he had to repeat a class. Thank God for myself and his class teacher and other teachers that stood up for his because of his academics. We made sure that after he repeated, our eyes were always on him until he eventually left school. The boy is an A student. Now, in short, he has this YouTube, he creates a lot of things on YouTube. Not as teachers, let us make sure that we are empathetic towards our students. The fact that they are not where you want them to be academically, do not give up on any students. That's one thing I want to take home. I want you to have. Do not give up on any student. Now, another thing that I want us to have is being innovative and being creative. Fine, a student does not do well in your tests. A student does not do well in your exam. Does not mean a student cannot do well in other areas. Have you tried practicals with the students? Recently, we had a practical on dissection of rabbits. So I told my class, the classes involved, that we're going to be dissecting rabbits. And by the time we started this dissection of rabbits. Please, I want to know if you can still hear me. Please let me know if you can still hear me. Please let me know if you can still hear me. Let me know if you can still hear me. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for replying me. So we had a dissection. We were to have dissection of rabbits. So we had it some time ago. Now during the process of dissection, I noticed some particular students who usually in class they were not the best of students. But you see, during this practical, they went all out. They were the ones that did the dissection. They would take the instruments for dissection, dissect, and in the process of me showing all the parts of the rabbit, these students were so captivated by it. This particular set of boys, they were so captivated by it. Eventually, they were the ones that skinned the rabbits. They were the ones that did everything. As a teacher, what did I do? I know that some students are not the best in the class. But you see, every student has their own area. What did I do? Eventually, these particular boys, all of them have a score for this part of learning, for the dissection. But you see, those boys that went all out and showed interest in those things, I called them to my office and I gave them a particular score for this particular work. Do you understand? As a teacher, you have power over your continuous assessment. I'm sure we have continuous assessment. I don't know how we grade it in our different schools, but I have power over my continuous assessment and I can decide how I can share my scores. So I decided that I'm going to give these boys scores. Fine, they might not be the best in the test. They might not be best in the written. They might not even be best in the oral. But you see that area where they are the best, let us try to make sure that we give them their score for being the best at that. So that is another way of being innovative, of being creative. Now, another point I want to bring up as teachers, what are we supposed to do? I've talked about empathy. I've talked about being innovative, about being creative. Now, let us make sure that we collaborate. We collaborate with other teachers on how to make sure that these children do well. In the school I am now and the previous school I worked, I did a lot of collaborative efforts with a lot of teachers, making sure these students that we teach do better. We worked with those ones that are very good orally. We worked with those ones that are good in written areas, different ways. We made sure that these students have a way of being at par with their other colleagues. It might not be on the written level, it might not be on the oral level, but whatever you can do, collaborate with other people, be a team player. Make sure you are a team player. When you collaborate and ask questions from other people, you will be able to have ideas on how next to how better to help these children. Do we understand? Now, the last one I am going to talk about is just like the last speaker talked about, Miss Oke talked about, if I'm correct, Miss Oke talked about that we should journal. We should make sure we journal. Not only journaling your things that you're making your thoughts known. You can also have a journal, keep records of how these children are faring under your care. How these children are faring under your care. Do we understand? So make a journal. Oh, what have I done to make my class more interesting? What are the ways you are making your class more interesting? Write it down. Did this particular method I used, did it work? If it did not work, write it down. Find other ways to do it. One thing I try to do in my classes is that I find ways to help, depending on the area or the areas where your schools are found. That is how students will the I'm trying to look for a particular word. That is the level to which a student will have intellectual capacities. Do we understand? Now, depending on the area, some students are so good. I cannot expect some students in Lekki area to have the same, my students here, the way I am around the Alimosho area, to have the same, to be at par with some students in Lekki. I'm not saying that they cannot be at par, but environment differs. Let us remember that. So what do I try to do as a teacher? If I need to, I do charts, I do printouts, anything I can see that will make them, be able to, their level of reasoning to be at par with those ones from Lekki. I tried as much as possible to do it. I bring class pictures to class. I bring live materials to class. Some of these children that I teach have not seen all those things. So I try as much as possible to make sure they see them. Because I believe in biology, in whatever a child sees, he remembers. So I try as much as possible to bring it to them. So find different ways of making sure your children are able to grasp the information that you want them to grasp. On this particular point, I was actually talking about record keeping. So make sure you find out different ways that they can use to do that. Then, what are some ways that we can use to help our children or our students to make sure that they do better? Now, I've outlined some of those ways. Now, we have quizzes. Have you tried quiz in your class? Please let me know that you are following me. Let me know that you are following me. Please, so you can just show me that you are still with me. And Mr. Abdulatif, please let me know how many more minutes that I have for this meeting. So, have you tried quizzes? Have you tried open quiz? Have you tried closed answered quiz? You can do written quiz, you can do open quiz, you can, just as a teacher, just be creative. Think, I've been in a class one time where I brought different types of flashcards, and I told my students, I taught them what I wanted to teach, and I now told them that they should arrange the flashcards according to the definition of what I taught them. Please, are we still following me? Can we still hear me? Mr. Abdulatif, can we still hear me? Can we still hear me, please? Can we still hear me, please? Okay. Oh, thank you very much. So, as I was saying before, I did that flashcards and I told them to I hope you all know what is flashcards. I've given them the definition, I've given them everything, and I put down the flashcards. And usually I concentrate on those students that are not the A students. When you are in the class as educators, please, I want you to anytime you go to class, I want you to remember this and always say to your students that every child in your class is important. Every child in your class is important. I always tell my children, it doesn't matter that you are one of the top students in my class. The way I will teach the top students, if I need to come down to the bottom to teach the least student in my class, I will teach that person. So anytime I'm explaining something in the class and I ask the class, do you understand? And they all tell me yes, I will ask the person that I know is managing, do you understand? Once that person tells me no, I go back and re-explain everything. Why? Because I believe that student is also important in my class. So when I do those flashcards, what I do is I call those students that people perceive that they are not good, they are not okay, they are not the best of students, and I tell them to come and do it. And you will be surprised that those students are actually listening. You see this, the beauty of this type of students is that they know that we focus more on the A-listed students. So they just keep quiet. They keep their thoughts to themselves. They don't want to show themselves. But if you start noticing them, you will be surprised at what they can actually do. You'll be surprised at what they can actually do. So let us focus on them. So try quizzes, try open quiz, try oral presentations. There was a particular boy, I'm including personal experiences so that we know that these things are actually possible. Now, when I Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Feromi Agbele. I'm very this is wonderful. Thank you so much. So when I give these experiences, I actually say it for you to know that it is actually possible. So, and I want you to bear in mind that I am a government school teacher. So I am not dealing with students that are few. My students are not few. I have a lot of, at least on an average, I can have close to 75 to 80 students in my class. But the beautiful thing is, I might not know all my students by name. I know some of them, I know most of them by name. But you see, by face, I know most of my students by face. So if a student is not in my class, I know. Even the ones that they feel that I will not know, and they are these ones that run away from class. And the beautiful thing is that my students, the trance in the class that I used to have, they are no more trance, because once I get into my class, I look through the class, I know where they sit. So I ask their friends, where is this boy that sits with you? Where is my neighbor that sits down here? I have different names that I give to them. So once they know that I'm asking of them, they don't run away from class. The beautiful thing is that they will come and meet me. Excuse me, I was in the class. So, mommy, excuse me, I was in the class. So I am not dealing with few students, but I know all my students. That is another thing we should try to do. Fine, we might have a lot of things that are on our plates, just like Miss Oke talked about burnout. It's true. But as I always tell myself, Mrs. Adejumo, when I get to work, is different from Mrs. Adejumo when I'm at home. So I don't bring work things home. She said that before too. I don't bring work things home, and I don't bring home things. I don't carry home issues to work. So when you're at work, concentrate on the children that you are going to teach at work. And as much as possible, avoid aggression on them. If you're aggressive towards those children, they can never be the best. They will never be the best. I saw this. I saw this when I was younger in school. Once you are aggressive towards a child, that child, the probability that that child will do well in your subjects is very, very slim. And I always tell my students in school, I call them my children because to me they are my children. So I always call them my so I call them my children. I call them my children because to me they are my children. I always tell them that when they come to school, there are issues from home. They should also drop that at home. So that is the quizzes. I've talked about quiz. Then another thing is their character development. You see, we are so concentrated on the academic aspect that sometimes we don't think of their character. We don't think that as this person become better. Even most of the time, we know that even the gifts, the prize giving, all those things that they do is actually for students who are top students. I always said it that if I ever have a school, I will have awards for students that are trying, that are just coming up. Do you understand? Have you ever looked at students that are coming up? I once had okay, let me use this illustration. I once had a boy. Thank you so much. Thank you for making me know you're listening. I once had a student one time that, but when we first started out with him, the boy was a trance. It was everything you could think of in a student that is not serious. It was that kind of boy. But you see, over time, after teachers, a lot of teachers were on his case. After teachers spoke to him, the boy eventually changed. Now, the beautiful thing about this story was that when he was graduating, by the time he got to, he was in SS1, he repeated SS1 because of this trance and all. But he went on to get to SS2. By the time he got to SS2, gradually he began to change. By the time he got to SS3, he was a different person entirely. Now, when they had their graduation ceremony, they actually made a prize. They made an award just for this boy for the most changed students in that set. Now, who does that? But we actually did it. Thank you very much, Mrs. Margaret. So we actually did it. Now, don't only focus on the students, the best of students. Let us try to focus on these other students also. So character development. Anytime you see a student doing better, make sure that you, even if you don't, it doesn't always need to be an award. Speak to the students. Let the person know that the person is, let him or he or she know that they are actually doing well. So I've talked about character development. Now there are some students that are actually good at sports. Let us remember that we can also use their abilities in sports to make. I actually know of a particular boy who his mom was so concerned about him. He was not doing well academically, but one thing this boy loved was football. He was so good at football, very very good at football. And so it became a concern for the mother. The boy was actually in in our school at the time, and the boy's mom was actually the counselor of the school. Now, what did a particular teacher that was very wise actually advise? We had flogged him, we had done everything as at then. This I'm talking about years ago. What we had already talked about. We had done a lot of things, punished him for different things. Then a woman that was very wise among us advised the mother. She said, leave this boy alone. Make a deal with him. Make a deal with him and tell him that if he can do very well in his SS3, he should try to get to SS3, WAEC and everything. Once he does very well, you will put him in a football academy. And that was a turning point for the boy. The mom eventually did as she promised. She promised the boy. Sorry about that. I hope you got what I said up to that particular point. So she eventually puts him in that football academy, and he has been doing very very well. So there are some children that are so good at sports. Find their niche. You might say, that who has time for all these ones? If you want exceptional students, students that will come later and tell you, excuse me, ma'am, I'm very grateful for what you did for me. I have students like that see me, that send me messages and tell me, excuse me, I had a particular boy that sent me a message some time ago, and the boy told me, the boy too was one of those managing students, and the boy told me, he said, excuse me, I just said I should tell you that I have received admission into IMSU, and he said, thank you for helping me at a time. At a point in time, this boy had entered into depression. He said, thank you, ma, for helping me at a time in my life when I was so down. So don't say you do not have time. You actually have the time. It now depends on if you want to do it or you do not want to do it. Then other ways, let me quickly, I don't know how much time I have, so let me quickly be fast. We have debates, we have collaboration. You can do debates for your student depending on your subjects. I have actually seen, I'm not an English teacher, but we do these extracurricular activities, and the students tend to, we have different things we do. And I've come to notice that whenever I do debates for my students in my class, I have actually noticed that most of the people that come out to are people that you would not expect. And children actually have points on these debates. So sometimes there are some children who find these children's niche. Whatever way you can help them, fine. You might not be able to, you cannot help them when they are in the exam or to help them write the exam. It's not possible. That is not possible. But you see, as far as it concerns the continuous assessment, whatever areas, have you tried giving them projects? Some children are so good at projects. I have seen a lot of projects. I remember there was a time I told these children, I said, go on YouTube, look for, there are ways of doing rain gauge, wind vane. Go and do it and bring it for me, and I'm going to assess you, I'm going to grade you. If you see the wonderful projects these students brought for me, they can actually do it. They can actually do it. So give them opportunity to grow. Now, what are the benefits of all these things when we do it for? Okay, let me wrap up this particular session with a particular story of a particular boy. One time, one particular area I love giving my students is on the area of oral seminar. oral seminar. I like grading them on oral seminars. Now, the reason I do this is for two main reasons. Number one, for grades, but grades is not my main focus. My main focus of the oral seminar is actually to help them to build self-esteem, build their self-confidence. And I always tell them that in the class. When I am doing an oral seminar, nobody has the right to bully anybody. I am building your self-confidence because you never know where you might get to in life. I told them myself by the time I started being confident in public speaking, I think I had gotten towards the end of secondary school when I was in the university. And I told them, I said, if you can start doing it now, you won't have a problem as you grow older. So that is why I'm building, and many of them do it. Now, there's this particular boy who was in SS1 at the time. As at that, then he was very quiet in class. He does not talk. But you see, by the time he was to present, he was actually one of the leaders of his group when he was presenting. And I always tell them, I said, you don't have any leader. I can call anybody from your group. The student that you think is actually not doing well is the students from your group I will call. So all of you collaborate. Teamwork is very important. So whatever you want the person to know, let the person teach the person. Let the person know it. So this particular boy eventually did very exceptionally well in the oral presentation. That's how I noticed many of them. He did exceptionally well in his oral presentation. Now, apart from him doing well, eventually I gave him a project. I gave them a project in the class. It was a science class. I said, I want you to do, I think I told them a topic about fish or something. I told them, I said, I want you to do an aquarium. But instead of an aquarium, this boy, funny enough, the boy was so good at that too. You know, if you don't look for all these things, observe, you won't know how good these your children are. Do we understand? You won't know how good they are. So eventually he and his friends, they actually did that aquarium. Can we hear me?
Yes, I
Please,
can
can
hear
you
you,
hear
ma'am.
me? Okay.
Yes, I can.
So he eventually did the aquarium, and they took care of it, did everything, and eventually I had to leave the school where I was transferred to another school. And this boy found how he communicated with me and told me that he had missed me, and he was thanking me for the oral presentation. In short, a lot of them in that class, they were always thanking me for the oral presentation, that it really helped them. Now, anytime I hear of them from teachers, the teachers are always like, these students are exceptional students in that particular class, because when it comes to public speaking, they are so good. So as teachers, find a way. I want you to take this home. Whenever you resume and you meet with your students, find a way of helping every child, not just a child. Every child is important. I want us to remember that every child is important.
It's
So I don't know
important.
if Mr. Abdul Latif, is my time up?
Yes, yes. Thank you so much.
Uh-huh.
Thank you. I know the network really
Yeah,
did
welcome. Yeah,
a lot.
welcome.
Thank you so much. I
Yeah,
hope
welcome.
we have really learned a lot. I've learned a lot. The network really affected me too, but then from
No problem.
the one I listened to, it has really been fantastic. Please let's appreciate our speaker. Thank you so much, Mrs. Adejumo. It has really
Yeah,
been
very welcome.
eye-opening. Thank you for sharing your experience with us. And I know that
You
from
are
here, from what we have learned today now, we're going to, at least if we don't take anything away from here, take that every child is important. Every child is
every
important,
child.
and always look for the good in every child. We have to go beyond just academic. There are people, and this is something I've experienced myself. There are students that the only thing you only see them, they will blossom in is sports. And from
Yes,
these sports, you can later get back and they can start doing well in other area. But then we just need to like understand each the need of each student, understand their talent and understand
yes.
their gifts, and then be able to meet them with
Very true.
what they have. All right, Ma, thank you so much. We're going to move
Thank
to the next speaker now. Please let's appreciate Mr. Dijumo. Thank you so much. I'm going to
Thank you
bring
so
up
much.
the next
I'm
speaker.
going to bring
He
up
has been
the next
here.
speaker. He has been here.
So we have Coach Wale in the building. Hey, come on. Hey, please, can you mute yourself? Just please give me a sec. I want to bring up the next speaker. Our time is far spent. Oh, okay, can we? Uh, Coach Wale, can you hear me now? Oh, uh, so sorry. Can you hear me now? Please let me know if you can hear me and can you see Coach Wale now? Oh, hello, can you all hear me clearly? Can you hear me clearly? Please let me know if you can hear me clearly. Can you hear me clearly, please? Hello, can you hear me clearly? Please drop a comment if you can hear me. I'm bringing our next speaker up now. I'm so sorry for the delay. It's coming up. We're going to be having Coach Wale Adejuigbe, and he's going to be speaking on ethical leadership in education, inspiring integrity and professionalism in school leadership. Please, if you can hear me, just let me know. You can hear me. Is with us already. Welcome, sir. I'm so sorry for the delay. Thank you so much for the privilege. I don't take it for granted. Thank you so much, sir.
Can you hear me? Good morning.
So please let me know. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yes, Kuchwali is here with us. Please, sir, can you hear me,
Please,
sir?
can you hear me?
You can please unmute yourself, sir.
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you
Good
so much.
morning.
I'm really sorry. I know you. Yes, sir. Good morning, sir. I know you had a session after this, and then we have really delayed you a lot. So I'm just going to read a short bio of you just for them to know who they are having, and then we're just going to get right into it. Okay, is that fine, sir?
Well, I'm thinking of the time,
Okay.
but no problem.
Okay, it's not going to be. It's just going to be a very short version of it.
Okay, please just do the short one so that I can spring to action. But like I said, I'm on the road though because of my
Yes, the
training.
time.
I have a training by 12 o'clock.
Yeah, thank you so much. So very quick, so Coach Wale Adejuigbe is a team lead of Connectium Education. He's an educational consultant with precisely 11 years working with different schools on the area of staff management, population increase, quality assurance, debt management, and parent management. His prowess in these areas has taken him to many schools across the country. He manages the teaching operations of over 80 schools and he has increased the population of many schools. So please let's make welcome Coach Wale as he speak on ethical leadership in education, inspiring integrity and professionalism in school leadership. So please, you can have the floor,
Thank you
sir.
very much. Good morning, everybody. I want to sincerely appreciate you, my brother, my friend. Thank you for this initiative. Thank you for this work. Thank you for something to engage everyone in holidays like this. My name is Wale Adejuigbe, and I'm often called Coach Wale. And it's a privilege for me to be here to speak about the topic ethical leadership in education. Emphasis being on integrity and professionalism. Very important. I want to start you up from what I call the magic of perception, or what I like to call the miracle of perception. You see, every performance journey in teaching or in education has two sides. There is what I call the teaching, and there is what I call perception. Any teacher that is performing so well today, any school that is performing so well today, there's a part of it that involves teaching. There's a part of it that involves perception. And I want to start from that angle. I'm going to play less on teaching. I was in the previous session, and by the way, I want to appreciate all the other speakers that graced this event, that have spoken and then that will still speak. So I was in the last session, and I saw that it has a lot about I love what she said concerning the use of instructional materials and other things like that. However, I'm going to be playing on the aspect of perception, because every time we talk about professionalism is not just about what you teach. Professionalism has a lot to do with, you know, your perception. And I always say this: you cannot remove perception from our teaching journey or from education. You can't. There are so many people, the level of their performance is based on the perception they have created. Some parents don't even believe that some people can really do well. And not because those people cannot do well. Some parents don't believe some teachers can teach well. Some parents don't believe that some teachers can transform their children. And when you look at it, they don't pay attention to the skill of the teacher. They are looking at the perception of the teacher. In other words, people are not only interested in what you do, people are also interested in how you do it. What you do is not as important as how you do it or how you present what you do. Now, when we talk about how you present what you do, as a teacher, your number one presentation, and I'm talking to teachers, I'm talking to educators, and I'm talking to schools. As educators, your presentation does not start from how you talk. It does not start from how you teach. It starts from you. It starts from your appearance. So when we are talking about professionalism, I often say this: professionalism is not only about qualification alone. Because you are qualified doesn't mean you are perceived well. And for professionalism to be established, perception must play its role. In other words, you should show up and your appearance should mean something. You see, you can teach so well, you can be very good as a teacher, but the level of respect that you command in a school, most times, it is always based on how you are perceived. This is very, very critical and very important. How you are perceived matters. If you are not perceived as being someone that is professional, the people will not deal with you like that. If you are not perceived as someone that is professional, even students that you are teaching as educators may not perceive you as that. There are so many people that know so much. They know how to transform, they know how to do this, they know how to even, but when the children encounter them, because of the perception, they don't pay attention to the perception. The children just take them as being every other teacher. The parents just take them as being every other teacher. Even the school take them as being every other teacher. I want you to understand that it is very critical and important for you to pay attention to perception. Before now, education was 80% action and teaching and 20% perception. In other words, in the 20th century, nobody cares about perception. Nobody cares about your appearance. Nobody cares about your tonation. Nobody cares about how you talk. Nobody cares about what you say. Nobody cares about everything. People care about is the fact that you have a sense of duty. The sense of duty talks about you stand up and you are teaching the children. As far as I'm concerned, the parents like you that way. The school is okay. You meet up with the timetable. You start 9 a.m. and you end 9:40. You took the next one 9:40 and you ended 10:20. Fantastic. Everybody, nobody has issue with that. But as we begin to grow, we now begin to see that that is no longer enough. We now see that how you present yourself as a teacher now matters. I'm telling you, how you present yourself as a school now matters to parents. Before they can join you, they want to see your compound. Before they can join you, they want to know the programs that you have in store for them. Before they can join you, they want to know if there are social attention, if you attend to social skill and social sector of the work. And this is very critical and very important. So the way education works now, there's a lot of emphasis on perception. And why am I talking about perception? Because professionalism is equal to perception and teaching. A professional teacher is an embodiment of two things: teaching and perception. Teaching talks about what you do. Perception talks about how you present what you do. How you present yourself is so important and very critical. This is so key. I don't know if anybody are you following me, please? If you are following me, let me know you are following me, please. I want to see your comments. I want to see it, please. Please come onto the chat box and comment about it. I'm following, please. Just tell me I'm following you so that it won't look as if I'm the only one talking by myself. Please let me know you are following. So I'm talking about, uh, professionalism is equal to what I call teaching plus perception. Teaching plus perception. To tell me that you are a professional teacher and that you perform on the job, I'm telling you, it has a lot to do with how you are perceived and what you teach. And let me quickly say that you can be performing but not professional. You can be a performing teacher. The only problem is that you are not a professional teacher. This is very powerful and is important. You cannot afford to stay just on performance alone. Some teachers are not respected in school. Some teachers are not respected by parents. Go and check. It's not first about the performance. They are doing so well. They are doing so well when it comes to teaching. But when it comes to perception, they don't pay attention to perception. And I tell you, perception is even 60% of the job right now. Because when people pay respect and honor on you, they have the money, the accolades, the awards will follow. I'm telling you, there are so many teachers right now. There are over 1 million teachers in the country. But you know what? Few are respected. Too bad. Few are respected. Few get into the society and people recognize with them as teachers, as educators. And you can't remove this from ethical leadership. You cannot. You can't remove it. Where we start ethical leadership from is the fact that you must first present yourself as a professional. Take this profession called teaching. You have to take it very serious. And you have to open up yourself to the world of teaching by saying that when you step out, how are you perceived? It's amazing why I go out, I meet with people and I tell them I'm a teacher. I'm an educationist. And some says it's a lie. And I said, why? Why will you say that it's a lie? That's my life. That's my life. I have a training by 12 o'clock right now. I'm speaking right now here. I'm speaking in the school by 12. I'm speaking in another school tomorrow. I'm speaking in a school next tomorrow. On Thursday, I'm speaking. On Saturday, I'm going to be doing training for school administrators on strategic leadership. That's my life. That's what I do. I work with schools. I just lost my educator mom. That's the first woman that gave me opportunity for me to do what I'm doing today. I lost her last week. And you know what? Someone says, oh, how will you call yourself an educator? I'm an educator. I am. But what happened is that as an educator, I know that teaching is not enough. I must also back it up with perception. The way you see me you can't look down on me. It's not possible. Why? Because I ensure that as a 21st century educator, I'm not only improving in my teaching skill, I'm also improving in my perception skill. I'm not only improving in teaching, I'm also improving in perception, how you see me. Because how people see you is how they treat you. Nobody treats you because you have two eyes. Every human being today have two eyes. Some are blind, but the sockets are there. Every human being has two ears. Every human being has a mouth. Every human being can talk. We can all talk. But can I tell you the truth? The professionalism in your job is in the perception. If people don't perceive you as being a master and an expert at what you do, honestly speaking, you can know so much, but people will not still regard you. So this is another opportunity for you to begin to look at yourself and say, how can I improve myself? How can I come alive? How can I come up? How can I increase perception? How can I improve my professionalism? And it's simple. It's simple. Number one, you need to pay attention to your appearance. You need to pay attention to your appearance. Your appearance is a channel of professionalism. Your appearance is a channel of professionalism. Your appearance is a channel of professionalism. Pay attention to what you wear. Very important. Pay attention to what you wear. Don't just be too concerned and too passionate about the teaching and you look away from what you wear. You wear shoe, you wear clothes, you wear perfume, you wear smell, you wear wristwatch. Pay attention to what you wear. That's the first thing, appearance. Number two, the second thing about profession, your perception, is that you must be consistent about something that you are about. Be consistent with what you are about. Oh yes, if you're a mathematics teacher, let the world know that you are the best, or you are one of the mathematics teachers that any child meets, and the child will never remain the same. Let the child know. Call yourself the name. You see, everybody calls me Coach Wale today. Nobody gave me Coach Wale. I called myself. I was inside my study one day, and I told myself, from today, I will now be called Coach Wale. I'm serious. It's an intentional act. It's a conscious thing. Stop waiting for a time when you will have big money to now begin to wear some clothes. No, pay attention to what you wear. Very, very important. Your perception will magnify. Your perception will magnify. Let people know. Communicate better. Communicate better. Not just in the classroom. Communicate better out there. A lot of teachers have Facebook page, but there is nothing on that Facebook page. There's nothing that depicts them. Do you know that you can just be a quantitative reasoning expert? That's a QR. You don't even do VR, verbal reasoning. You can just be a quantitative reasoning person. You can just be a coding and robotics person. That is just your own area of expertise. You are not even the English teacher. You are not the mathematics teacher. You may just be social skill expert, where you teach social studies, you teach civic education, you teach security education, and you can own it so much that big schools can begin to call you. Parents that have money can begin to call you. I was invited by a parent to coach three of their children. A couple, two parents called me to coach three of their children. Of course, I'm Coach Wale now. And then by the time I got there and I gave them my bill, I noticed that when I stepped in, the man was not in the living room. So there is CCTV camera, and I saw the CCTV camera. And then I noticed that immediately after I sat down and I started talking to the woman, the man joined the woman because he looked at it. And after the man left, the woman told me that when I left, that the man asked him, he said, all teachers that used to come to teach Tife, the one child that really, he said, all the teachers that used to come and teach this boy, nobody looked like the way this Coach Wale looked. He said, this one looks so presentable. This one looks like, and then he said, no wonder. He said, don't worry, we will pay the amount that it costs, we will pay for it. I was surprised also because when I gave them the amount that I'm going to charge per child, I said, what? And the woman said, no problem. But please, sir, we will pay 50% now. I will pay 50% after a month. I was shocked. You see, I'm sorry to say this. One of the reasons why teachers are somehow broke is not because teacher salary is small. I'm telling you, I'm sorry about this. It's because of, number one, the expression of our skill needs to go up, and then the professionalism or the perception that people have of us needs to go up. Because one of the things that happen when your perception rises is not just respect, reward also rises. There are places that I show up and they say, oh, we can't pay you. We are sorry. And I tell them, what is your budget? They are shocked. They are surprised because I say that. I'm telling you, your expression must rise and your perception must rise. Because when you say you are a professional, you see, the world does not know professionalism by qualification. I'm serious. The world knows professionalism by first, the courage, the attitude, the perception that the people that calls themselves medical doctor, lawyer, look at the way they present themselves. Look at the shoe, the black shoe that they wear. And I say this everywhere. You just make up your mind at some point and decide that you want to look different from every other person. Before you know it, your level of respect will be high and your reward will be very, very high. Please, I can't even move ahead again because of this time. I am so sorry. I really, really would have loved to spend time with us, but because of timing, the few that I'm able to drop, please, it's always a very, very huge thing for me to have extra time to be able to create like this, and I have to get to the school that I'm going by 12 o'clock because I'm a man of my word, a man of integrity, which is what we are talking about. But quickly, let me quickly. I want to drop this. You can brood around it maybe after the training and you work on it. There's what we call the ethical leadership chain. The chain of ethical leadership. If you say that you are working intensely on ethical leadership, on the aspect of integrity and professionalism, this set of things must matter to you. Number one, your value system. What do you value? What are the things that are important to you? That's value. Value are the set of things. Values are the set of things that are important to you. That's number one. Number two is consistency. In other words, those things that are important to you, you do it consistently. That is, so value leads to consistency. Consistency leads to reputation. What people now know. Because when you are consistent, for example, you always come to place early. When you do it consistently, it becomes your reputation. People know you for it. They say, don't give Coach Wale 9 a.m. because he's going to be here by 9 a.m. Once your reputation is built on positive things, your professionalism is intact. Once your reputation is built on positive things, your professionalism is intact. So number one is value. Number two is consistency. Value leads to consistency. Consistency leads to reputation. Reputation leads to professionalism. Professionalism leads to respect. And respect leads to reward. When we talk about the chain of ethical leadership, we are talking about a value system that starts it. It starts with value. Anything that is ethical, you are not going to be honest if you don't value honesty. You are not going to mean what you say if you don't value integrity. Value is what starts. Then when you do it consistently, then you build reputation. Reputation will lead to professionalism. What people know you for will determine your perception, and that is what leads to professionalism. Now, professionalism leads to respect. You become someone that people respect. When you show up in a place, people respect you. You don't command respect. No, you are not respected because you have spent 24 years in teaching. I'm telling you the truth. You are respected because you are a professional. Your perception increases. And after respect, then we have reward. Thank you very much, everyone. Please, I wish I could go on, but I could not because of time. And I want to appreciate everybody because of this. Thank you, my brother. Thank you for having me here. And I believe that this 1 week is going to be a very great time for us all. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate it. It has really been a wonderful session so far. Thank you. I know about your schedule, and we are really grateful that you are even able to stay to this time with us. Thank you so much. God bless you, sir. Thank you for honoring our invitation. Thank you for making this sacrifice for us. Thank you. So please let's appreciate Coach Wally. Let's appreciate. It takes. Say I know you have seen a lot about what has happened today. Every speaker that is here today, sacrifice a lot to be here. So these people, they are committed to empowering educators. They're committed to discuss, and that's why they are here. So please, they deserve your appreciation. Please let's appreciate Coach Wally. Let's appreciate Coach Wally, our speaker now. He's been here. In fact, it's supposed to come up third session, but then because of network issue, because he has been here since then. Okay, so I'm just going to bring him on board now, but then I'm not seeing your comments. Please, let's appreciate Coach Wally. Let's appreciate Coach Wally for everything, for the value, and I can see a lot of our comments here out in professionalism. Now you have learned about professionalism. You have learned about perception about the fact that your reputation will lead to how you are perceived. Okay, so please let's appreciate him. Let's appreciate him. We are on to the last session now. We are on to the last session. Yeah, we're moving on to the last session now. So we're going to be having Coach Sam Godwin, and this time around we're going to be talking about creating a culture of respect, strategy, solution. So this particular is management. I just need to bring up our speaker. I don't know. Okay, just give me a sec, please. Just give me a second. So let me know, has this been valuable to you so far? Has this been valuable? Please share with us. What have you learned so far? What have you learned? Yes, what have you learned so far? What have you learned from the session so far? Are you getting value in the bootcamp? Is this worth your time? I know you have all sacrificed a lot to be here. Yes, you have all sacrificed a lot to be here. And I really appreciate that. I don't take that for granted. Without you, there's nothing like Progressive Educators Bootcamp. There's nothing like that. So thank you so much for staying, even when the network is disturbing, even when no one is here. Thank you so much for staying till this moment. And we are almost in for the last speaker now. So please just give us time. But then as you're waiting for our last speaker to get ready, let me know, what have you learned so far? Yes, what have you learned so far? And please, if you are yet to, please like this video so that it can be more visible to more people. Just click on that like, that thumb up. Yeah, that thumb up. Just give it a thumb up. If you have gained value so far, again, click on the thumb up. And don't forget to subscribe. This is channel we're going to be having the session from day one, which is today, to Friday. So please click on subscribe to the channel. Thank you as you do so. Also copy the link and share it with your interest and so far. But then we are on to the last speaker, and it's going to be amazing. It's going to really be amazing. Just okay. So our speaker will join us any moment from now. Just please make sure you're ready. Make sure you are ready. Make sure you're ready. Can I see some fire emoji in the comments? Let me see some fire emoji in the comments. Let me see some fire emoji in the comments. Let me see some fire emoji. I'm super excited. It is the Progressive Educators Bootcamp. Are you getting value? The theme is empower educator, transform education. Yes, we empower educators so that we can transform education. We believe that transformation of education starts with empowerment of educator. Okay, so so the total aim of this, the end goal of this is not to empower educator. So there are two goals, there are two things together. We have empower educator and transform education. So there's something, when we talk about goals, we have two types of goals. We have end goals and we have means goals. So in that team, we have two goals. We have an end goal and we have a means goal. The end goal there is transform education. That's actually what we want to do. We want to transform education. But to transform education, we have to start with empowering educators. So the means goal there is to empower educators, which is what we are currently doing right now. So when we empower you as an educator, what we want to achieve by empowering you is that you go on to transform education. So everything you are learning here, when you go back to your teaching career and you implement it in your classroom and you implement it with your students, then it's go a long way. Then gradually, you contribute to the advancement and transformation of education in Africa and in the world generally. I don't know, our speaker is here, but then I'm finding it difficult a bit to bring him up. Uh, I don't know why. I just need to add him so that we can get started. Oh shit. I can. I don't know why. I'm not able to bring him up. But then just give me a sec. Give me a sec. Our time is fast spent. Okay. We are getting started now. I don't know. Our speaker is ready, but then I don't know if it's his network or mine. Uh, I'm not able to add him to the stream. Okay, you're all welcome. I'm just seeing your comments now. Our speaker is coming. Thank you, Mrs. Aguilera. I really appreciate your presence. Thank you, Mrs. Daniel. Thank you, Mrs. Adele. Thank you so much. I don't know. I'm not really. Please just wait a bit. I don't know why. Since our speaker is having network challenges, but then we'll just see how we can sort this out. Oh, okay. What you need to do is okay. What we need to do is that you have to go to your setting first on your phone, and you go to camera. So you go to Chrome or the yes, if you're making use of Chrome, then you can give it the permission from your setting, because without the camera and the microphone, you cannot be able to be added to the stream. That's how I'm actually seeing you, but I'm not able to add you to the stream. That's the problem. So please, you need to change it from the give it the permission from your settings. Please just give us a second. Oh, our speaker is having some difficulty being part of join the studio, but then he will join us now. So let me know, what have you learned so far? What stood out for you the most? Which of the topic do you love the most? Which of the topic actually speak more to your? I can see all your fire emojis. I can see it. I can see it. I can see it. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for the love. Thank you. Thank you for accepting us. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your resilience. Thank you. Thank you for this. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad it's worth it. I'm glad it's worth it. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Hush. Okay, yeah, I'm so sorry. I'm back now. Our speaker is going to join us any moment from now. We're just having uh some challenges, and then I we hope that that's been resolved now. Okay, so we're just going to once he's here, we're just going to get right into the session because of our time. Uh, yeah. So tell everybody. I know we have all gone. You almost, but okay. So I'm just waiting. Once you join now, hope everybody's going to come back and be part of us. Okay, I'm still waiting. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm super excited. And I just need to let you know tomorrow is my birthday. So I don't know. And I'm going to be having my session tomorrow. Yes, by 9 o'clock. So please don't miss it. Don't miss at least if that's the only birthday gift you can give to me. Make sure you're part of my session tomorrow. Okay. Tomorrow is going to be I believe Saturday is going to be 25 tomorrow. And I know that that's a year that come with a lot of responsibility, come with a lot of pressure, especially in this society that we are. But then at every of my birthday, I've always looked for ways to give back. But this time around, the assignment was okay. You have done it 25. Let's do something that revolve around 25. So when I first get the idea of having this boot camp, it was going to be 25 speakers. And a lot of people I shared with, even though they actually support it and they give me all the support I need, they are very like concerned about having 25 speakers. And then at one point, it changed from 25 speakers to 25 sessions. Yes, because it's different. Right now, for this boot camp, we're going to have 27 speakers and 25 sessions. This is the fifth session. Yes, it's not going to be easy. In fact, getting the speakers, having to do all the logistic, all the arrangement, everything is something else. So it's very, very challenging. I have to be honest with you. And not talk of having this like in fact right now I'm very stressed out because of all the struggles, everything I have to do this morning to be part of this, but then it's part of the process. And the most important thing is that we are getting value and I can see that already, and that make it all worth it, that make all the challenges worth it. And just give us a few time. Our speaker is going to join us any moment from now. I don't know. He's really having the distance, and he has been here for long. In fact, I celebrate the resilience of our speaker, the resilience of the participants. You are all so wonderful. Thank you so much. You don't take it for granted. Don't take it for granted. Thank you. Oh. the replay is going to be up. So if you miss any of the session, just make sure you go back and go and watch the replay. The replay is going to be up. Like the video, share it with your friend. Let them also get value from and they and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much and have a blessed day ahead. Thank you, everybody.